Namaste students. Welcome back to our next class of nutrition in animals chapter. In our earlier class, we came to know what is nutrition and how the nutrition in autotrophs and heterotrophs is varying, and now even we mainly focused on the feeding methods that are seen in different type of animals based on their digestive parts, their body size and everything. And of course we came to know the digestion process, where we understood that the complex food materials that are broke down into simple forms in the presence of some enzymes. Here the enzymes, they are acting as a catalyst. Your enzymes, they are acting as a catalyst. Catalyst means a substance which will speed up the chemical reaction without involving it. So your enzymes are truly acting as a catalyst and playing a key role in the biochemical pathways. Another word I am using, that is your biochemical pathways. So here the chemical pathway is breakdown of food material that's occurring in the biological cell. So such pathways we are saying as a biochemical pathways, and your enzymes are acting as a catalyst to speed up the biochemical pathways. And of course we came to know about different types of heterotrophic nutritions, starting from the holozoic nutrition, followed by the saprophytic nutrition, parasitic nutrition and even mutualistic nutrition. Yes, so this is one holozoic nutrition in amoeba which we are going to learn in our next classes. So even we completed the different steps that are involved in the digestion process, where at first the food it is intaken into the body, that we are saying as a ingestion. Ingestion is always followed by digestion, then absorption, then assimilation and digestion. These are the 5 different steps that are involved in the process of digestion. Yes, so now let's truly learn about human digestive system. So in our human digestive system, if you will observe, there are so many parts are present, and the main parts of the human digestive system are the alimentary canal, or that is your mouth. The alimentary canal, which is your digestive system, it is always and always starting with an opening that is called mouth and ends with an opening that is called your anus. So from mouth to till anus, from this mouth to till this anus, so many different organs are playing a vital role in digesting the food material. So if you will see the organs of your digestive system, the organs at first it starts with the mouth, and then mouth opens into your buccal cavity region. When you will swallow the food, that time the food enters into pharynx to esophagus, now esophagus to stomach, now from stomach to small intestine. This is your small intestine part. From there to large intestine. The undigested food store in the rectum for some time, and then through the anus it is ejected out. So different organs that are present and are playing a very important role in digesting the food material. So in along with these main organs, some other organs are also present, like your liver, here salivary glands, your pancreas, here the down one, yes, this one, this is your pancreas. These are some of the other organs that are also playing a key role by releasing the enzymes to digest the food material. So let's learn the human digestive system in a detailed manner. So as we said, the human digestive system, it opens with an opening that is called your mouth. The space between the two lips, that is called your mouth. So the mouth, when it is opened, immediately it opens into a very big hollow space. That space we are calling it as a oral cavity. or we are even calling it as a buccal cavity. Okay. So now inside the buccal cavity, we will observe a muscular flap-like structure that is your tongue. And from our childhood onwards, we are learning that tongue is meant for tasting the food materials. Okay. So now the taste of the food materials on the tongue, it is not identified all over it. Every specific area of the tongue, it is meant for identifying different taste. Like at the tip, if you will see, you can identify sweet and salt. The lateral sides, you can identify sour taste. Exactly at the center, you can identify sweetness. At the back of the tongue, it is your bitterness. Okay. So how tongue can identify these different types of taste? So in the tongue, when you will observe, yes, some taste buds are present. So now whenever the food it is entering into the taste buds, you will get the taste of the food material. And this tongue, to identify the taste of the food material, you please do a small activity which is mentioned in your textbook page number 15, activity 2.4. So in this activity 2.4, if you will see, you have to take some few samples of sugar solution, a common salt solution, a lemon juice, crushed neem leaves, because sugar solution it gives a sweet taste, salt saltiness, lemon juice is your meant for sour taste, and neem leaves is meant for bitterness. So completely make a solutions of your sugar, salt, lemon juice. Only squeeze the lemon and take the juice, and then neem leaf juice. So if neem leaves are not there, you can use the bitter gourd also. If bitter gourd is not there, crush the leaves of the neem and extract a little bit of juice. That's more than enough. Okay, make these 4 different types of solutions, and now close your eyes. So after closing the eyes, just take a tablespoon of any of the solution and place it on your tongue and try to identify the taste, and in which area you have identified. That much sense we have na, in each area we have identified the taste. By that you can say what is the substance and the location of its sense on the tongue. Okay. So now the next organs that you will observe in our oral cavity, that is your teeth. Yes, teeth are the main organs that are present in the oral cavity, which are meant for physical digestion of food material, because they are chewing the food material, they are crushing and eating the food, due to which the food became as a paste like structure. That's we are calling as a physical digestion of food material. Okay, so if you will see the teeth in our mouth, generally the teeth are of 4 different types. Already you know all these things, but incisors, the first 2 flat teeth, we are calling them as an incisors, and the sharp pointed teeth, that is your canine, and then premolars and molars. So these are some different types of teeth that are meant for doing different works. So if you will see the teeth, that is your incisors. Incisors are some flat ended teeth that are meant for cutting the soft food material or biting the food material. Okay. Yes. So in your page number 13, again a tabular column is given, table 2.2. There if you will see, they are asking you about type of the teeth, that is your incisor, which is meant for cutting the teeth and biting the teeth. Okay, so they are present in upper jaw 2 and lower jaw 2. So together 4 teeth are present. The second one that you will see, pricing and tearing teeth, that is your sharp pointed teeth which can tear the food material. Sharp pointed, when we are saying sharp pointed, immediately the thing that comes into our brain, that is your canines. So canines, On either side of your incisors you are having one canine. So an upper jaw 1, lower jaw, upper jaw 2, lower jaw 2, so together 4. And then chewing and grinding the food, it is done by premolars and molars. Chewing and grinding the food, it is done with the help of your premolars and molars. So complete the given table in page number 13, children. Yes. So in case of humans, if you will observe the dentation, the teeth formation we are calling as a dentation. So the dentation in humans, it is of two types. So the first early teeth that is formed in the infants, we are saying it as a milk dentation. So this milk dentation teeth, they will fall off and that are replaced by the new teeth. So the second teeth that are coming after the age of 3 or 4, that we are saying as a permanent dentation. Okay. So the first teeth that are formed in the infant stage, we are saying as a milk dentation, and the milk dentation teeth, they will fall off and replaced by the permanent teeth, we are saying it as a permanent dentation. So the teeth are playing a very important role in physical digestion of food material. Yes. So now along with this tongue and teeth, children, in the oral cavity, if you will observe, you will notice that the entire mouth, it is in a moist condition, wet. Yes. So that moist condition one is due to the presence or secretory substance that is called your saliva. So saliva is one substance which is having a vital role in the digestion of food material, because saliva is a substance that is chemically digesting the food material and breaking the carbohydrates into simple sugars form. Along with this saliva, it is doing some other functions also, like it is maintaining the alkaline levels in our mouth region. Alkaline levels means it maintains the basic levels so that our mouth oral cavity won't get any hurt. The second one is it will even kill the bacteria. It even kills the bacteria or the microorganisms that are present in the mouth region, and always keeps the oral cavity in a moist condition, which is very much important. If the oral cavity becomes dry, your tongue is unable to move fastly. So these are some of the reasons why saliva is secreted continuously, to maintain the alkali nature in the mouth, to maintain or to kill the germs in our mouth, and to maintain the moistness in the mouth. So now such a saliva even playing a very important role in chemical digestion, where it is converting the carbohydrates into simple sugar forms. Simple sugar, but this simple sugar is further converted into some other form. So now this saliva, from where it is coming out? Generally, if you will see, the saliva that is coming out from the salivary glands. So these salivary glands, three such salivary glands that are located, three pairs, three means not only normal three pairs of such salivary glands that are present in our body. One is present in the lower of your jaw, the second is near the chin region, and the third is near the ear region. So three pairs of salivary glands that are present on either side of the chin. And these three pairs of salivary glands, one we are calling it as a parotid gland, the second one is sublingual gland, and the third one that is submandibular gland. So these are the some three different types of salivary glands that are present in our mouth. And these salivary glands, they are continuously secreting a substance, that is your saliva, which is doing so many works in our digestion process. So now the saliva, how it is chemically digesting the food material means, the saliva, see here, you are able to see here, this is one and this is one. Okay. So now the saliva, it is having an enzyme that is called salivary amylase. Initially this salivary amylase, it is called with a name thiolin. Okay, initially it is called with a name thiolin, but now we are calling it as a salivary amylase. That is, it's present in the saliva. We are saying that enzyme as a salivary enzyme amylase, which acts on the carbohydrates and converts into simple sugar form. Here the simple sugar is maltose. So this maltose can even be digested further. So till here we completed about the digestive system parts, then mouth, buccal cavity region, your tongue, your teeth, everything. So now here you have to notice one thing, children. Due to the action of salivary glands, now the complexed starch, that is your complexed carbohydrate, it is breakdown into simple sugar form, that is maltose. So really the salivary amylase is breaking the carbohydrates or starch. To know it, there is an activity that is given in your textbook page number 14. Yes, in your textbook page number 14, a very small activity, that is action of saliva, that is given. So to do or to understand really salivary amylase is breaking down the food materials, this activity is. So let us do the activity, where at first take 2 beakers, and in these 2 beakers take equal quantity of rice water. So rice water can be made by mixing the rice flour in the water thoroughly, or your mother, when she will cook the rice, sometimes she will drain off the water, collect that water also, that is also your rice water only. Chalo, now take 2 beakers and take equal amounts of your rice water into it. Now label these 2 beakers, one as a starch and the second one as 2. First one as a starch you label, and the second one you label it as a 2. Now chew the cotton, a clean, neat, hygiene cotton take, and chew the cotton thoroughly. And thoroughly means at least chew it for 2 to 3 minutes thoroughly, so that saliva is absorbed into the cotton. And then take a small test tube and squeeze off the cotton and collect the saliva here. So now add this saliva to beaker number 2. Add this saliva to beaker number 2. Only we are adding saliva to one beaker, that is beaker number 2, and mix it well. After mixing it well, now add few drops of iodine into these 2 beakers. Now add few drops of iodine into these 2 beakers. So now as soon as we will add the iodine, the starch, it changes its color into blue black. But the beaker which is having saliva in it, it will not change its color into blue black, which is an indication that starch is broke down there. And the one that is useful for breaking down the starch, that is your salivary amylase. Okay children, so complete this page number 13 and 15. So in our virtual class, when we will take an online class, that time we are going to do this activity practically, that is action of saliva on starch. So now let's have a quick look of this video. In this video you will observe that both that are turning into change blue color, but the one which is acted with saliva, it will change very little lately by the action of iodine. Okay na children, let's have a quick look on the video part.
Saliva play in digestion. The Have you ever wondered what role does saliva play in digestion? The food we eat is digested step by step in our digestive system. The first step of digestion starts in the mouth itself when chewing helps to break down food into small parts, and the mixing of saliva in the food helps to convert it into bolus. Saliva also plays another major role in digestion. Let us carry out an experiment to understand the function of saliva. We have the starch solution, iodine, and 2 beakers. Pour equal quantity of the starch solution in both the beakers. Now add some saliva to one of the beakers. Keep both the beakers untouched for about 30 minutes. Now add iodine to both the beakers. Observe what happens. Both the solutions turned violet. However, after some time, the solution in which saliva was added fades and turns white. Why does this happen? The saliva added breaks down the starch and converts it to small sugar molecules. And once the conversion of starch to sugar molecule happens, the color changes back. The starch solution not mixed with saliva remains as it is and turns purple when mixed with iodine. Starch is a polymer of glucose. It cannot be assimilated in the body as it is and hence is digested to form glucose before being absorbed in the blood. Saliva is a liquid produced in our mouth by salivary glands. Salivary glands are present just below the tongue. Saliva contains an enzyme called amylase that helps break down starch to sugar.
Yes, children, after observing this video of action of saliva, even after observing that action of saliva in our virtual classes, you will properly understand the role of salivary amylase in digesting the food material. For now, you please complete the activities in page number 13, that is related to teeth, and the activity of identifying taste, activity 2.4 from page number 15. Okay children, thank you so much.